they feed the wood into the chipper so that it gets a constant chip, and it is less labor intensive so that you can chip a lot easier, and your men can go and collect more wood so that they can chip it. It comes with reflectors so that when you're traveling in the dark, people can easily see the chipper. When you're traveling, you can lock this, then your chute does not open. When you are working, you just unlock it, you pull it down, and then you lock the locking mechanism over here. Then your machine cannot move. This is an emergency stop. In order to release the emergency stop, you've got to push up on this handle, then it is able to go forward and reverse. That is reverse, that is forward, that is the other emergency stop. Yet again, in order to work it, you've got to pick up that handle. We have hydraulic rollers. The hydraulic rollers open up 180 millimeters. That is 300 millimeters wide. So that assists when you have branches that have smaller branches so that you can feed them into the chipper. It's very good for pallets and pieces of plank that you want to get rid of, dry wood, wet wood, and so forth. Should you need to work on your chipper, on your rollers, you loosen this top link here, you connect it there, tighten it up, and it will lift up the roller so that you can work there safely. It's got 2 tension springs on either side so that you can adjust the tension so that it fits perfectly on the diameter wood that you are chipping. It's got 2 adjustable bolts down here. As you can see, you just tighten it to the tension you want and you lock it in place. It's got a lynch pin so that it does not fall out. Grease points, very easy to grease. There's a grease nipple, grease nipple, grease nipple, another grease nipple there. The hydraulic piping, the bearings you can get from your local bearing supplier in South Africa. The only thing you need to buy on this chipper are the blades and the static blade. When accessing the rotor of Grizzly wood chippers, you loosen the bolts, you pick up this flap, you will find the knives, the rotor, and you will find that the knives are offset. There is the one edge of the knife, the other edge is over there. Daily you open it up and you make sure that your knives are sharp and that they are not nicked. If they are nicked, you've got to turn them around, use the other side, and when that side is also blunt, you take them in to be sharpened. You can sharpen approximately 5 to 6 millimeters off per side. When you're busy working on the blades, there is a safety catch that will automatically catch in that hole. Then you can work on it safely, loosen the bolts, and it will work fine. Now, when you're operating a chipper, it's very important that for a minute or 2 after you have finished chipping, to keep the tractor at full revs and the PTO on, just to make sure there are no splinters within the rotor. You can get an approximate 80 hours per blade per side, and that's 160 hours before you have to sharpen the blades. The chute, when you are busy chipping, can be moved in the direction that you want. As you can see, it can move 360 degrees. You can adjust the distance that your chute will be chipping from very far all the way to very close. We have the Intellifeed computer that operates the rollers of the chipper. It is easy to set. You have a setting mechanism on the back. You have one button that cycles through the entire series, and then you have 2 buttons that set it up and down. This is the oil hours that have been used. This is only applicable if your chipper has a hydraulic power pack, and then you know after how many hours you have to change the oil. That is the machine hours that this chipper has run. That is the top revs. So when your chipper reaches 500 RPM, the rollers will kick in. The maximum hydraulic pressure of the tractor that this chipper will use, you can set this hydraulic pressure up to 85% of the tractor's hydraulic pressure, but it is not recommended. Preferably do not go over 65%. That is the minimum revs. If the tractor's RPM starts dropping on the rotor, then the Intellifeed will automatically slow down the rollers over there so that you maintain a constant chipping speed. The engine on the tractor does not labor, then it's more fuel efficient and it chips easier. That is the minimum oil pressure of the tractor that it will use. So if something happens and the oil pressure drops, it will immediately cut out the machine. To keep the settings, you have to cycle through the settings twice, and then it is done. When you're finished, you lock it up and nobody will fiddle with your settings on your tractor. Works with hydraulic couplings that go into your hydraulics on your tractor. Quick couplings, that is your outlet, that is your input back into the tractor. The Intellifeed system is powered by the trailer lights on the trailer plug on your tractor. So it's very simple to connect. It's just 2 wires, 12 volt. Works with your lights. As you can see, we have connected it to our lights. So in the evening when you finish chipping, you just switch it off and your machine is automatically switched off.